All right, let's try this again. I just recorded and it didn't save. Fun stuff. How you guys doing? Welcome to another Blockchain Future. Hope you guys are having a good day. Um, During the late 1990s, I was about I was a teenager. I was 19 in 99, 21 in 2001. So I lived through the internet boom of the 90s, and I was already working in the tech industry at the time. And it was a pretty exciting time as far as what was going on with the internet. Broadband was starting to spread across the country, and the internet was really starting to become part of our part of our culture. And it took a long time for it to actually get fully ingrained into what we know of now with social media, ordering stuff online. I mean, back in the 90s, people said that only criminals use the internet, kind of the same stuff they're saying with blockchain today. So reading this article, um, I actually agree with a lot that's being said. This is mainly by Jack Liu, the founder of OneChain. So this article, Bitcoin and blockchain adoption will be a lot faster than the internet boom of the 90s. Um, as the title says, it's really saying that mainstream adoption will happen a lot faster with Bitcoin and blockchain because of the fact that the main part of what Bitcoin and blockchain run on the internet is already established. So I have a few parts of this that I want to read through that I'm going to comment on. And hopefully it will record this time. The famous internet boom of the late 1990s and early 2000s arguably changed the direction of human life. Back then, the internet as a technology was leveraged by numerous industries. eBay revolutionized the commerce industry by bringing consumer to consumer and business to consumer markets over the internet. Amazon put the bookstore and later on much more over the internet and disrupted many industries. But it is but is it time now for blockchain to cause the same kind of disruption? Jack Liu, founder of OneChain, certainly thinks so. He also believes this will happen a lot faster than last time. Talking to Block Publisher, he said, "We are at a similar stage as the internet boom back in the early 2000s. Right now, the whole industry is trying to build real-world applications with increased funding. I think a life-changing disruption would be a lot faster than it was back in the internet world. The reason is blockchain deals with two types of things: data and assets, which is also a form of data. Since these things are already digitized or about to be digitized, blockchain will gain traction a lot faster." And I fully agree with what he's saying here. Um, the data that's on the internet is obviously already digitized. There's nothing really to be done there. Back during the internet days when things were being .commed, so to speak, it took time for people to go from the brick and mortar world back, the physical world to the e-commerce world. It took a lot of money and time for these companies to build out their internet presence. Well, they already have an internet presence now. So the shift, as you can imagine, the shift over to blockchain and cryptocurrencies is going to be a lot simpler than the shift from in real life or brick and mortar to e-commerce. And he actually gets into it here. The reason why technology adoption this time around will be a lot quicker than the dot-com boom is because this time one technology, blockchain, is leveraging the other technology, the internet. Since both technologies deals with data, the technology adoption this time around will be much faster. Addressing the issue of blockchain adoption, he said, "Majority of financial assets are already digitized as they are in some form of data, like in banks. Putting them on blockchain and building applications such as smart contracts and decentralized applications will be a lot faster this time around than the old days of internet that revolutionized pretty much every industry." And this is another good point. Um, most people do not deal in cash anymore. Everybody, the money that they deal with, whether it's euros, US dollars, British pounds, um, you know, anything, any of those fiat dollars are pretty much already digitized. So that money is actually to pivot that into actually crypto money or even stable coins is a lot easier than what it took for people to shift into a kind of check or cash mindset into a digital money mindset. Continuing here, since stocks have already been digitized, it's just a matter of time to put them over blockchain. Blockchain's decentralized nature makes the case for its adoption as it ensures seamless and error-free peer-to-peer transfer of funds. The technology's trustless and transparent nature takes out the need for a centralized controlling body like banks and asset management corporations. Now, this part is a little trickier. Obviously, removing the central parties, removing these companies that pretty much make their money by controlling the money, removing them is going to be a bit tougher than actually how it was when we were removing the middlemen for the companies that were building out the internet, like eBay and um, even Facebook. Really wasn't another Facebook before it other than MySpace. But as far as the people that sit in the middle, the free market will decide, and that's the beauty of capitalism and the free market. The free market will decide who will win this battle, and we all know that crypto and blockchain will win this battle as far as ease of use, as far as easy value transfer between two people. And people would much rather have a trustless system that just works than trust a third party that has scammed us in the past, that has caused things like the 2008 financial crisis. And that's just a fact. This last part here is actually, I believe, the most important part of the article. Even though the dot-com boom of the late 90s proved to be a revolutionary for the industry, it also put a shadow over it because of scammers who took it as an opportunity and raised a ton of money. Jack Lew related the current blockchain revolution to the internet revolution. He added, I always take internet as a history book. Initially, people termed internet a scam back when it came out. In the second stage, some use cases were proven that revolutionized everything, and in the third stage, the internet was everywhere. Same will happen with blockchain technology. It will be incorporated in pretty much every computer, mobile phone, and pretty much into everything that has digital data. People wouldn't even think that there is blockchain technology working inside every device, just like people don't think about the technology behind the internet. And the reason why I think this is the most important quote in the article is today a lot of people don't really understand how prevalent the internet is and how it's spread throughout almost every fabric, every part of our society, whether it's social media, connectivity, smartphones. I mean, back when the internet was first being going mainstream in the 90s, if you would have told somebody where we were today, they would call you crazy. They would never believe it. And this is kind of what people are screaming about in the crypto and blockchain industry, that we're trying to tell everybody that we're going, the same story is being written again with blockchain. The same parallels are being drawn between the future and blockchain as it was back in the 90s with the future and the internet. Everybody knew the internet was going to be gigantic, and it was going to be a game changer, and it was going to be the backbone for communications and connectivity in the 90s. And today, the reason why I'm making these videos and the reason why I'm trying to tell as many people as I can is that as far as value transfer and finance goes, blockchain is going to do the same thing that the internet did in the 90s. It's going to revolutionize the value transfer and money and finances that really did not get the same treatment as the other industries did when the internet boom happened in the 90s. Finance was kind of left behind. We did get online banking, we did get some other things, but we didn't get the financial layer that really would take the internet to the next level. But now we have it. We know what it is, and we are pushing it forward. So I thought this article was really good. I left out a few parts, but I'll have the link in the description so you can check it out. Have a good night. Thanks.